Hi, I'm Ananiah Bhatti and this is my friend Jean Hitchman. Of the events on my timeline here, which one is the most significant for you?
We have quite a list here for me to look over. I see you start with the sinking of the Titanic. Well, I wasn't there for that one, but the rest of them I could have something to say, from D-Day down to Hurricane Harvey. But I'm going to choose the one here that you have, was the eruption of Mount St. Helens in the state of Washington. And I choose that event, which was in 1980, because I was there when it happened, and I was affected by the eruption and directly. So that's the one I'll discuss with you.
Where were you when this event happened?
Well, I was in Portland, Oregon at that time, driving across the freeway, on the freeway across the Willamette River, which is in Portland, Oregon, and right next to the Columbia River. And as I went over the top of the bridge, right before out the windshield of the car, you could see all the way 70 miles north to Mount St. Helens. At that moment, where I was at that time of the day, the eruption occurred. And it was a bird's eye view right before me, and it was rather a memorable event.
How did you first hear about this event?
Well, the mountain was rumbling for months before it actually erupted. So we were aware of something was going to happen. So the whole community there in the Portland area, in Oregon and Washington, were sitting waiting, somewhat preparing for it to happen, but not knowing when. So that's the time frame for. I just happened to be at a place where I could observe it rather clear and right before me.
How did this impact our country?
The plume of ash and pumice going up 70,000 feet in the air, it, of course, it blew out across the countryside as far east as the Great Lakes in Chicago, raining down the ash onto the soil in the communities along that amount of land. It also had an impact of the communities right directly in its path and in around Portland up to Seattle, Washington. The impact was that it destroyed hundreds of square miles of forest. Immediately, they were just disintegrated because of the heat and the type of ash that was coming out. It just covered everything from many feet deep to inches on the ground, and we had to deal with that. Of course, the ash and pumice in the atmosphere caused the aircraft, made them unable to be flown in that type of environment because it had destroyed the engines. So they were all grounded in the area until that ash and pumice was cleared out of the atmosphere. And it, of course, changed the environment in that area considerably. It's taken years and years, that's 38 years ago, to regenerate, regrow, and of course trying to grow the new forests and rejuvenate the communities that were affected. It's a significant impact. And things like that can happen for future events. In fact, that mountain is still rumbling, still spewing up lava, and in time it will erupt again. And it's in an area of many volcanoes that silent now, but the potential natural disaster can occur. It's sitting there. It brings to mind how significant those things are in everyday living. You don't think about it, but in fact it's sitting there as a potential consequence for the communities at large that live around it. And so it did have an impact on the country and future planning because of such events.
When you think about this event, how does it make you feel now?
Well, now a lot of memories that are not going to be forgotten. They just aware of the fact that those potentials are always there in terms of how you can plan for them, anticipate them, and prepare yourself for the consequences of them. Glass ball was blown using the material that was the pumice that came out of the volcano and heated and then reblown out into this decorative ball. But that's the glass that came from the volcano eruption.